This tutorial provides the step-by-step instructions on how to create each element of the garden scene. Now we are adding a bench, a pine tree, a coconut tree, a bird, and a doll to the scene to give a rich and vibrant look to the miniature garden. Get ready for this enjoyable learning experience of creating your own secret garden. My name is Rosanna, and I am the creator of I Go Teddy plushies and the wool felted toys that you see in this channel. But because my background is in psychology, specializing in biological psychology, I'm going to also explore how our brain responds to the beautiful art of crafting. Our focus becomes more acute, our concentration improves, and our mind enters a state of peace. So while you are learning the basic skills of wool felting in this tutorial, you will also learn how wool felting improves brain activity, such as motor skills, and overall physical and mental well-being and relaxation. As an example, some of our motor skills required in wool sculpturing activates the motor cortex neurons, which send signals to the hands and fingers muscles to manipulate the wool. In this video, we're diving deep into the science behind neural felting crafting to unveil exactly how our brain responds to the beautiful art of crafting, transforming stress into serenity. So stay tuned all the way to the end, and you will not only learn how to needle felt these adorable nature elements, but you will also learn how to identify which parts of the brain are activated during this process. So step one requires your creativity and decision making. So in this case, I'm building a banana tree, which has very large leaves. To execute that, I need to overlap 2 or 3 strips of wool and bind them in the center with a multiple needle tool. At this stage of creation and decision, I'm using the brain command center, which is the prefrontal cortex, which is very important for decision making and creativity. As you can see now, I am binding the 3 pieces of wool with a multiple needle. This tool is excellent to flatten the tissue of the wool, making it smooth. And it is important to mention that as soon as I started to bind the leaves with the multiple needle tool, I'm using the motor cortex, which sends signals to the hands and fingers muscles to manipulate the wool. So now I am attaching the finished leaves to the trunk of the tree with a 1 needle tool, because the 1 needle tool is the one that's going to attach the wool deeply into another piece of wool. Now I'm making a small bench, and the first tool that I'm going to be using is the multiple needle tool to flatten the wool, to make it look like a piece of wood. Notice now that the task of working with a multiple needle tool is not too complex. It just requires coordination and motor skills, because that's a simple, repetitive task. And now the legs of the little bench. And so all it needs is 2 small pieces of wool in the form of a ball, and then you have to roll them and keep punching them with a 1 needle so it gets nice and firm. As you can see at this point, I'm wearing my finger gloves because the element that I'm felting is very small. So Do not take any chances when you have to needle something that's that small. Wear your finger gloves. And now I am attaching the legs of the bench onto the platform. And that's done with the one needle tool, because that's the one that is going to attach the additional piece deeply inside of the platform. Now I would like to pose a question. What do you think is the part of the brain that is being used when you are using the one needle tool as opposed to the multiple needle tool? So to answer this question, you must notice that when you use the multiple needle tool, it's simply just to smooth out the wool, and it's a repetitive movement. But when you are using the one needle tool, you have to pay much close attention and be much more concentrated on what you're doing. So when you are using the one needle tool, your movements are very precise and requires extreme attention to detail. And you will be using the cerebrum. The cerebrum works with the motor cortex to refine the movements. It ensures that they are smooth and coordinated. This requires deep concentration on the task, which means the cerebrum takes over. It takes control of your entire attention. That is, there is no room in your brain to think about anything else. In summary, the activity of crafting with wool is the ultimate therapeutic intervention for stress relief because it involves the brain in creativity and execution of a refined task. Now keep watching this video as the best is yet to come. Next, we'll show you how to make a tiny doll, a pine tree, and a bird for the nature scene. Since now I'm at the preparation stage, I am selecting the colors of the face and the color of her dress. So the face just gets to be round up in a little ball with the one needle tool. But notice that I have another one needle just to hold in place so that I don't have to put my finger near the needle. So this is another safety precaution that I've learned to avoid getting poked in the finger. First, I'm adding her hair. So by now you would know that in order for me to flatten her hair, I have to use the multiple tool first. Then I'm going to use the one needle to insert the hair into her head. Next session of this tutorial, or part 3, I'll be showing you how to build this little bird and a pine tree. I hope that so far in this tutorial you have learned a few skills of crafting with wool and that you not only see the value of building this lovely garden scene, but also the value of pursuing an activity that offers a therapeutic benefit for its relaxation and focusing effects.